Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I thought I would walk you through how I prep my homeschool plans or my homeschool week, because I just did a video on, our routine and a couple of you asked for that. So I thought I would go ahead and film it for you. If you are new to my channel, my name is Addie. I am homeschooling my current 4-year-old, and basically every week I have a theme that I do to our lesson. So for example, the theme that I'm going to be planning today is our flower and plants lesson. And I basically have a, theme for every single week of the year, minus the 2 that I take off for vacation. But I do have that theme printable or, 3 theme list for you on my website. It's free. You just have to be signed up for my newsletter. So if you want that, if you want, the different themes, you can go ahead and check the description box below. I'll have a link for you that you can go sign up and then download that printable for free. And it's just like an Excel spreadsheet. You don't have to follow it verbatim. You can change it around. You can just get some theme ideas for yourself and, use what you want and take away the rest. But it just hopefully will give you some inspiration on different themes that you can choose to do during your year. So for the planning aspect, every week, I sit down and I just go through my lesson plan and try to fill in each box. So I'll show you what that looks like, briefly here. It's basically just a little square. I will show you this more in depth in a minute, but it's just a little square and it has, language, math, science, geography, history, art, sensory, and religion. So I try to put something in each box for that week's theme. Religion is really simple for us because I follow a free curriculum called ABC Jesus, and I basically, pick a week from that and get their lessons and do all that. So that is really easy. I don't have to do much for that. And then for the other ones, basically I start out planning by looking at what I already have. So whenever I'm out, whenever I'm doing something, if I see something that I think could be useful for one of my homeschool themes, I will grab it and then put it in a banker's box. Now I have probably 6 of these total for all of my themes together. So this one is spring. So it has my, spring theme, my bug theme, my flower theme, my, any rainbow theme, anything springy is in this box. So this is basically where I start in planning, is just opening this up and seeing what I have. So for example, right now, I can see I'm planning flower theme and I have parts of flower puzzle. So that will be, one of my activities for flower week. And I could use that for math. I could use that for sensory. I could use it for science. I can put that in a few different boxes. So I can pick which one I wanted in basically, or move it around if I find another activity that would fit in another thing. But starting with what I have is how I start. So I will kind of just pull some things out and, walk you through what I have and basically how I plan this. So here is everything. Here is everything plant and flower related that I have. So I've got 2 books. This will be, this could be language. This could just be books that I put on her bookshelf that we can read, at nap, bedtime, throughout the day, during story time, whatever it is, depending on if I need it to fill a block or not. But I have that. I have these Montessori 3-part cards of different flowers. So this would be great for science, just learning different flower types. And for the sake of this video, I'm gonna just show you everything I have, and then I'll probably catalog it afterward, just so that you don't have to sit and watch me for 20 minutes doing that. But typically, I would catalog it as I pull it out so that I, start filling boxes at that time. Okay, so this is Plants We Eat, and it's just a little printable, and it has different plants we eat with different cards that match to it. And these are basically printables that I have found on different websites or whatever. And I'll save them to a file or print them out when I have them and put them in the file, just so that basically I, have that activity for later. Here's another parts of a flower, so another good science one. Another good science one, it is a tree and items. That would be another science one. So I can already tell I have a lot of science here for the plant. But really some of them could be language if I wanted. Like I'll just fill what I have in the boxes. Here's more 3-part cards, parts of a tree. These are gardening tools. And then these are planting flowers from bulbs. So just another different aspect of the plant life cycle. So those are all like the activities in here I have. And then I have a game, Herbal Adventure game that I found. It's a board game, but it's just another, this is a great like sensory or gross motor, you know, something in that sort of category that I could put. The other thing that I have, other than, you know, my spring box that I have for most of my themes, is this little box from the Endless Mountain Learning Center. And this is their spring box. They have 4 boxes a year, winter, spring, summer, and fall. So this is their spring box. And so obviously I pull it out for my flower lesson because it's springy. And basically these kits are really, really cool. If you have not ever ordered or heard of kits like this, you can order a kit and they ship you the kit with supplies, like everything you would need to do one of their activities is neatly packaged. They have everything for you, like even flashcards that you would need for it, just like a little shovel. Anything you would need to do something of their activities is included in the box, and that's really, really cool. So then this box also comes with the curriculum guide, which basically walks you through every activity that they have planned out for spring, what you need, how you do it, questions that you can ask about it, and just things like that. So I have gone through this and we've been doing a couple of these. They've been super fun. My daughter really likes them. And basically I went through, and anything that related to my flower unit is going to go into my chart. So it's just more ways to fill my chart with activities for that week. This is spring in entirety, so we actually will use this curriculum, you know, for other boxes to come. They have bug activities. They have an egg one that I'll use for Easter. They have a bug one that I'll use for bugs. They have a tree one that I'll use for my Earth Day. So it's just like, you know, it's been great. They have 17 activities in here, and they sent books, which my girls have really been loving. They have little songs. It's just a really, really cute kit. I will link it in the description below so that you can check it out. And I know shipping is included in their pricing, so that's really awesome. But just check it out in my description below. I'll have all the information. So if you are interested, check it out. It is super nice. You know, it just comes with everything that you need. So if you are a mom, like for me, I have an extra hour or 2 a week to do this preschool planning. If you are a mom that just needs an extra supplement, or you don't want to plan and you want a whole curriculum just sent to you, this type of thing is great. And I'm using it to supplement, but it's been so nice to have to do like a little bit less research and to have to be a little bit less creative coming up with different activities. Like, it is really nice just to be able to pull this out and, you know, have ideas right there and already have the supplies. Like, I don't have to go looking, I don't have to go laminating. Like, they send the worksheets pre-laminated, pre-cut. Like, it's awesome. So definitely check this out, and I'll show you which activities for my flower unit we're gonna use, you know, for which box in a minute. Just show you like the curriculum too. So this is the Digging for Bugs page. So it has, you know, the objects you need from the kit, which literally they tell you, and they give you the shovel and the bug jar, which is this one. The one thing I will say is I wish there was a picture of the actual, you know, activity on the page, not just like this image. That way it was easier to know, okay, this is the bug jar, this is the magnifying glass, rather than this being the bug jar. Because at first I was a little confused, but this is the bug jar. Anyway, then it gives you, you know, what you should do, questions you can ask before and after, making extensions to this activity, and like what they're supposed to learn. So it really does lay things out pretty well for you. And they have, you know, all different kinds of things in this book. And here, I just thought I would show you Isabel doing some of these activities in real life so that you can see kind of how they actually work and what type of activities they are.
Yeah,
Perfect.
It worked!
All right, so now we want to measure them and see which worms are the longest. This is a ruler, okay, and it tells you how many inches a worm is. So you can take one worm, take it off its little track, and then measure it. If you started at 10 or at 1, you can see, start at the end. And then you can take all the worms and see which ones are longest, which ones are shortest. What number is that?
5.
Yeah.
6.
So that was the measuring worms activity, and we had Play-Doh out that day, and of course she wanted to do more Play-Doh, and they had Play-Doh like activity accessories, so I just went ahead and pulled those out for her as well. And she really enjoyed this. My 1.5-year-old actually is sitting next to her also doing this activity. So that is another great thing about this kit is that the activities I found some of them, multiple of them, can be scaled down to different ages and also probably scaled up as it says there's some extension activities, so you can scale them up a little bit harder. She is 4. I would say so far from what I've gone through with the book, 3, 4, 5-year-olds would all be perfect for it. It's a preschool curriculum, so that makes sense.
All right, so then once I have pulled everything out that I already have, I will go ahead and, check my boxes to see what else I need. So I'll walk you through like where I am now. Okay, so here's where I am in terms of all my blocks being filled. I just went ahead and added everything that I had. Basically everything from my spring bankers box was in science, so I went ahead and put that here. I did have the gardening tools that I'm going to use as a language learning exercise. And then I had my board game I put as an art sensory. And I filled in the religion like I told you with ABC Jesus stuff. I just went to their site and filled all that in. And then this here, I do tactile letters like sandpaper letters or writing letters in salt. Each week on the first day of the theme for whatever letter focus and number focus we do. So I went ahead and filled that in here. I went ahead and marked that I could use dirt instead of sand or salt. So that's just an option for me. And then I also went through and filled in all of the activities from the EMLC kits. So they have alphabet printing and writing practice, that's going in language. They had a leaf counting activity, which will be in math. Then they had some different art and sensory type activities, painting and Play-Doh. So I went ahead and added those as well. Now what I'll do is try to fill these other missing pieces. So I will just go basically, I have some language and I know that I can go to this website here. It's called Mama Diaries and they have a letter of the week series. So I will go through and try to find my letter of the week, which is this one. And I basically like print off the letter Q things they have or look through her like little chart or watch her video or whatever it is to find out and fill out these boxes. Then for math, I know I can usually go to Tot Schooling, which is a website called Mrs. Plemons Kindergarten, and I can walk through her site and I can do this for math, art, science. She has a whole like basically curriculum as well. So I'll scroll through her website and find some activities that I might like to fill in for my week. Then there is Pocket of Preschool, which is another site I like. And I'll just go through, she had a spring center, so I go through here and look at activities that might look good. Another one is 1 + 1 = 1, and she had some flower nomenclature cards. And I just put this because I already had these, but if you didn't have those and wanted to have this as part of your science, you could go to a site like this and find some, flower cards here too. And then this is Happy Tot Shelf. Again, she had a garden shelf, so I just went through this and got some ideas as well. These are some of my favorite sites, and up here in my bookmarks bar, I have a homeschool tab, and it basically has all my favorite homeschooling, websites. And I did create a video on that, so I'll link it in the description for you. But okay, so now I will basically go back to my chart here. And when I have figured out what I like, I went ahead and made another one here. I fill in the boxes with the things I came up with. So for example, the letter Q binder activities from Mama Diaries. I want to do the teen flower activity from Mrs. Clemens Kindergarten. Here I want to do the cotton ball flowers from Happy Toddler Playtime. So I just fill in the boxes basically. The one that did not basically get figured out for me through those websites is the geography history. And that's because most schools and preschool don't focus on that, but it's just something I wanted to come up with. So this is just what I came up with myself. I live in Ohio, so I thought Flower Week, why not talk about Ohio's flower? US has a flower too. Let's talk about a rose, and talk about how different plants have different things based on climate geography. This is a link to Plants Delights, and it talks about the different zones in America. So I thought that would be a good thing to reference, so I just linked it there. I live in zone 6, so I thought we could talk about the plants in zone 6. And then we have an orchid at our house that she really likes, so I thought why not talk about the orchid and talk about the history of it. Then down here, for example, this teen flower, I might not know what that means in a couple weeks when we get to this unit. So I wrote down teen flower, draw a flower in the center with a 19 on it, cut it out, blah, blah, blah. The instructions, I have them right here so that if I get to this week and I'm prepping for it, I know what that is. I also wrote where I got it from so that I could reference that if I need to look back. But I write down, what I might need down in this space here. All right, so now that I have something in every box, I basically that's all I would do for that night. It usually takes me about an hour to do, the whole lesson plan. And once I'm done with that, then I would prep for the week. I would get those activities. I would try to put the ones for Monday on a tray so that they're ready to go. And you can see in my previous video how our routine goes with the trays and stuff like that. I will link that video and put it up here too for you. But if I have anything else to laminate, I would do that. And that usually though, I do on a different night. So say I plan this on a Sunday night, maybe I'll do the prep on Monday, or I plan this when I have time, I'm watching TV on a Wednesday night, I'll do the prep for the week on Sunday or Monday. I don't necessarily do them on the same day. It would just be too much time for me. Now, I will say I have a lot of stuff in my chart, but I am very flexible. We do not always do all of the activities on my chart every week. It just does not happen that way, and that is okay with me. I am a planner, so I like to have everything planned out in case it's one of those weeks where, we do end up making it through everything. But it's just not always the case, and I'm flexible. And you know what? If we don't get to do this flower puzzle, we don't get to do the flower puzzle. It just is one of those things. I would rather have it planned so that if we get it done, we get it done. But if it's not the end of the world if we skip an activity, it's just not the end of the world. So I think when you're homeschooling, especially when you're homeschooling, a 3 or 4-year-old who's just preschool timing, I think being flexible and not pushing them too hard is really important. So I just wanted to note that because I feel like it could look like I have a lot planned, but we are definitely flexible and we don't always do everything. Science and geography history, those two sections on my chart are new. I did not used to have those in my, lesson plan, but I decided to add them just because why not? There are some times where we're talking about, the Arctic in our winter unit, and what a great time to talk about Antarctica. So it was just I threw it in there, but if we don't always get to history or geography, I don't care. But I do like introducing some of these concepts and just having them available if, her interest is there. All right, so that is how I plan my homeschool week. I hope that is helpful. Please let me know if you have more questions in the comments below. And if you want something else, let me know in the comments below, because obviously that's how I knew how to film this video, is because people were asking for it. So if you ask me for, something like that, I'm happy to make a video on it and help you with anything that I can share. So definitely make sure to do that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.